Evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is another community conversation on this evening with my dear friend Terry Ceta Terry of Nicholas House Inc., an amazing asset to our community and to the metro community at large. We are so grateful to have her with us on this evening, to be able to have a community conversation with her about housing and financial supports and resources during COVID-19 and beyond, because we will be moving forward and we will get through this together. I promise you that. I assure you of that. But it will take all of us working together. I always say teamwork makes the dream work. It will take partnering with organizations that are meeting needs in the community, and leveraging our network, influence, relationships, and resources to ensure that the residents of the East Point, of the great city of East Point, where there's no point like East Point, that East Pointers have all that they need and are connected to the resources to help them get through this unprecedented time of uncertainty. So, welcome, Ms. Terry. Thank you so much, Terry Cedar, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary Ingram.
So we are excited to have you with us this evening, and just wanted to kind of start off with, I know about the amazing work that Nicholas House does, but why don't you share with our viewers and the people who will watch this later, like, why do I say Nicholas House is so amazing? Share with us the amazing work.
Thank you. Well, Nicholas House got its start over 38 years ago, and we are originally a part of the St. Bartholomew Episcopal Church out of Atlanta. And the church had a small food pantry that they were running in the Atlanta area for families. And as families were showing up for food rations, they also realized that a number of them were in need of shelter. Concerned by the numbers of families that they saw, they reached out to the pastor of the church, and as part of a conversation with the pastor, congregants, the board, and the pastor decided that they would open about 7 of their Sunday school classes to members of the community that were in need of shelter. As you can imagine, there was an overwhelming response to what the church was doing. Families began lining up at dusk and dawn to receive that immediate shelter from the church. That spawned a totally new conversation about family living, because over 38 years ago, the data only reported homeless men or homeless women. This new population of homeless was new at the time. So this began a conversation with United Way of Greater Atlanta and the Community Foundation of Greater Atlanta. And as part of that collaborative, it was determined that the Community Foundation had a donor that they represented that had a house in the Grant Park community. And the United Way of Greater Atlanta provided seed funding to renovate that house so that it was available to homeless families that were in need of shelter. We were reminded then and now that over 70% of the individuals that we serve are children. We were also reminded that St. Nicholas is the patron saint of children. So we took the name Nicholas, joined it with the donation of the house, and became Nicholas House. Fast forward to 2020, we've served tens of thousands, men, women, and children, not only out of that house, but also through the community, where our focus is in preventing homelessness for families when possible and responding to families that are experiencing homelessness. What's unique about what we do is that we have 3 specific goals that we focus on. Those 3 goals are helping families earn a living wage. That second goal is to ensure that families are physically well, mentally well, and that they are socially healthy as well. But most importantly, Our third goal is to ensure that families are able to acquire and also maintain housing of their own. A lot of people ask the question, what makes Nicholas House unique? There are three distinct features that I'd like to share with those that are listening and viewing this evening. Nicholas House provides housing for any composition of family. That means that whether you're a homeless married couple or if you have older children as part of your family, you are able to come to Nicholas House without separation. Unfortunately, in the Atlanta area, some providers separate families in order for them to receive services. So if you're a married couple, the woman will go to a women's shelter, the husband will go to a male shelter. Older children are often referred to group homes or youth shelters. That adds separation anxiety to a crisis already involving homelessness. At Nicholas House, we keep families intact. We ensure that everyone stays together. If that means they're a large family, in excess of 8, 12, or 14 members, we're able to accommodate at Nicholas House. We're also accountability based, meaning that upon arrival, families have specific goals that they set in collaboration with their case managers, and they work towards those goals as part of their participation in Nicholas House program. And we're also outcome oriented. We track families for up to 2 years after they completed programs at Nicholas House. And why is that important? It's important because we want to ensure that families are able to remain in their housing long term. So within that 2 years, we're tracking families to make sure that things are going well on the job, things are going well with the children, and that they're in a position where they don't have to be placed in a situation where they're homeless again. Our bigger focus is ensuring that family homelessness is rare. We want to ensure that families don't experience homelessness. But if they must experience homelessness, we want to make that occurrence brief. And most importantly, to ensure that it's non-recurring.
Well, that is why I'm glad you shared that amazing journey to how Nicholas House came to be, and the vision and the real mission and purpose of why Nicholas House exists. I received a message that you're sounding a little fuzzy, and so
sorry. Okay.
No problem. It's made.
Am I a little better now?
Go ahead, say it again.
It's better. A little better. How about that? Is that better?
Say something again. Tell me who you are.
All right. The mission of Nicholas House is to help families to become self-sufficient, homeless families to become self-sufficient. Does that sound better? A little better?
I think that sounds better. So what I want to talk about is, and what we might do if that doesn't work is transition you back to audio through your computer.
Okay.
So what I want to do is transition to talking about. So when we talk about housing for everyone, a housing for all, affordable housing, those types of titles that are used, we often think of like starting with people in houses. But oftentimes in the work that Nicholas House does is around, people helping people who are experiencing homelessness, helping families who are experiencing homelessness become housed, and then not only get housed but sustain housing. So help me understand, like if you receive a call, we had a person that reached out to our office that indicated that she and her son were about to be homeless. We connected them with you. And so help us understand, like once that initial contact is made, what happens?
Yes. So once someone contacts us by phone, email, even if they stop by Nicholas House, we immediately refer them to the Gateway Center. The Gateway Center is located on Pryor Street. They provide all of our initial housing assessments. That's the first point of entry, our coordinated point of entry. That's where we're able to assess needs whether it's a homeless family, a homeless male, homeless female, all homeless providers coordinate their services through the Gateway Center. Once someone goes there and they complete their housing assessment by providing the state of their living conditions, their name, contact information, etc., that goes into a database of all of the providers in the Metro Atlanta area. And if it's a family, say in the case of Nicholas House, along with other providers that provide services for families, we're in that database, and depending on availability, the Gateway Center goes literally down the list, trying to identify resources that are available, housing resources are available, or whatever services that particular family needs as they arrive at the Gateway Center. And then they are afforded resources or housing, whatever those services are needed, based on priority. Now, there's assigned a vulnerability score. The higher the score, the greater the need. Families, for example, will always receive the highest score. The families with disabilities, physical challenges, health challenges, families that may have substance abuse challenges as well, are always assigned that highest score. That helps providers to determine who needs to be served first. Now, everyone will be served, housed, etc., but that's our way of being able to manage who has the greatest. So once someone goes to the Gateway Center, they complete their housing assessment, and then referrals are made to Nicholas House. And if space is available at Nicholas House, then we immediately place them into our shelter in the Grant Park area.
And when you say place them into your shelter in the Grant Park area, kind of explain to us what that shelter is like. I've toured and this really became cool of how, the Nicholas House really allows persons who may be experiencing homelessness to stay with their families with dignity, right? So
yes.
What it's like at Nicholas House.
Okay. A lot of families, we are considered a coveted point of entry. A lot of people love coming to Nicholas House or desire to be placed at Nicholas House as they are part of that housing queue or as part of that intake process through Gateway Center. Because if you can imagine, as you enter, this is literally a house that's been converted as a homeless shelter. But upon arrival, there's a feeling of home. Because once you enter, every family has their own distinctive space. In most Atlanta area shelters, families are often in one large open space with other families where they share spaces, etc. At Nicholas House, everyone has their own independent room. In many cases, our larger families have their own facility connected to their room, so there's no sharing with our larger families and other members of the house. There are common areas to include our dining hall as well as a family room where families can just unwind and debrief from perhaps any anxiety or stresses of the day. And then we also have in the same space adult education programs where adults come and are trained regarding life skills, soft skills, etc. Many of the adult education classes include interviewing skills, resume writing. We cover parenting skills, computer skills. We actually have a computer lab on site where adults can go and search for work and prepare their resumes with the assistance of a number of amazing staff members and volunteers. They cover everything from, again, parenting skills to credit analysis, understanding your credit report. We even discuss home ownership and entrepreneurial opportunities as part of our adult education program. Also, at Nicholas House, we have an after-school program. So from 2 until about 6 in the evening, families have the assurance in knowing that their children are cared for while they're looking for work or going to work after children come out of school. And then also, we have some of our administrative officers there. Our case managers are also there to provide direct assistance to families that are at the shelter. So it's a unique atmosphere. There are cabinets in the dining hall area where families can store items that they would like to purchase for their families. So in many shelters, families often don't have the flexibility to cook breakfast, cook lunch for their family, or to store things. So we have cabinetry that's available at the house that coincides with the room that that family is living in at that particular point. Their refrigerator sections, their freezer sections, everything's all secured and corresponds to their room assignment. So it's all very family oriented, even in the dining hall. Every family has their own table, their own space where they can participate in traditions, whether it's prayer, whether it's grace, whether it's just that camaraderie of being together as a family. And we're very fortunate to have a number of volunteers come in and drop food off for the families. And given COVID-19, many of our direct contact with volunteers has been limited, but volunteers are still coming to drop off food for our residents. Typically, when volunteers are able to enter the building under normal circumstances, they'll serve meals to families. But we're very delighted that we have a lot of support, especially from the faith community, as they come out and provide food and rations for families, but they're also able to cook their own meals while at Nicholas House as well, if they so desire.
And so that is what I really enjoyed while I was touring, understanding how families could really be families and, participate in, typical family activities while living at Nicholas House. And I believe it's, because of the amazing service that you've been providing to the community for so many years that you recently received funding for COVID-19 housing and also rental mortgage utility assistance for families. So share with us that and, how people access that and what that process is.
We have been really fortunate to receive funding from Fulton County Health and Human Services, the United Way of Greater Atlanta, and also the Stadium Community Neighborhood Trust Fund. And the trust fund was actually established by the City of Atlanta with the sale of Bill. And funds were reserved for community development. And Nicholas House applied for and received funding to serve Pittsburgh, Peoplestown, Canningsville, Grant Park, and those various neighborhoods that surround the stadium. So we're able to assist families with rental assistance. We're able to assist families also with utility shut-off, to avoid utility shut-off. And we're also available to assist families with job searches and job placement. Now, also, as part of that funding that we received from Fulton County, we are excited that we're able to provide services to South Fulton County as well, to include Hamada, Hicksville, Fairfield, Union City, of course, East Point, and other South Fulton cities. With the United Way of Greater Atlanta, we've also been able to expand these services to other counties in Metro Atlanta, to include Cobb, Gwinnett, Henry, and actually 13 counties that surround or make up the Metro Atlanta area. So if families are in need of assistance, and if they are experiencing financial hardship as a result of COVID-19, specifically, if they need rental, if they need utility assistance to avoid shut-off, to avoid eviction, if they need help in finding out about jobs that are available in the Metro Atlanta area, if they need assistance getting placed with those jobs, Nicholas House can assist individuals, families within these areas who need to contact us at 404-789-5626. And that number again is 5626. Got to put my glasses on here. Also, they can email us by emailing prevention@nicholashouse.org. And I want to just repeat that phone number once again. It's 404-789-5626. And that email address is prevention@nicholashouse.org. So any family within Metro Atlanta, the requirements are that you must have at least one child in your household between the ages of 0 to 17. When you contact Nicholas House at the email address or by phone, you'll need to indicate your contact information, your phone number specifically, and of course your email. Indicate also the type of assistance that is needed and the county in which you reside as well as the city. And a case manager will respond to you immediately regarding your needs.
And so you mentioned a great point, and with the financial assistance that Nicholas House has provided, Nicholas House serves families, but I like the spirit and the way in which the the services are provided at Nicholas House, and your willingness to actually connect people who might be single and not have a family to the resources or to other services that they might be able to take advantage of as well. And so,
I would add, Mayor Ingram, that families that are without, individuals that are in need, and if someone listening does not have a family, Nicholas House has resources on its website for individuals as well. So if you go to our website, which is www.nicholashouse.org, you'll click on the Get Help tab, and all surrounding counties are listed there in terms of resources that are available for families and individuals to receive assistance as it relates to financial assistance, food, housing, and other assistance that an individual or family may be in.
And so, as we're in week 9 of this pandemic life, or the life during this pandemic, and things have changed quite a bit. And it's critically important that people are able to access resources when they need them. Like me, I see my role as a person who's connected, building the bridges, bridging the gaps for people who will go through a number of different experiences during this time, to be able to know where to go to get the information for resources that they may be in need of. And so I appreciate Nicholas House for, while it has a commitment, also sharing information that allows anyone who is in need, who's experiencing life without this power and the challenges thereof, to be able to go to this one-stop shop and be able to access information to help you around housing, as well as financial supports and resources. And COVID-19 was going through this pandemic. We will get through it, but these are resources and support for during COVID and beyond, right? At any time.
That's right. That's right.
What I've learned during this time is that there are people who are experiencing homelessness and may have been experiencing that before COVID. So when the Bridging the Gap resource request form sent to our office for a young lady who I believe was housed, and then indicated that she and her son were about to become homeless, right? So what sparked to me is that as we go through this pandemic, it's not just people who are already experiencing homelessness who might need support this way. There are people who are housed who might find themselves in a situation of needing shelter, right? Because there are two basic things that have to exist, regardless of whatever is going on in the world. People have to have food to eat, and they have to agree that housing and shelter, being housed, is a fundamental right as a human being. And how do we help people with housing? And so, I again thank you for sharing the great work of Nicholas House and how you're providing and meeting the need. And so, as it relates to the financial assistance that you receive to provide to families during this time, is there, like, how does it work? Like, if I come in, or a family comes in and applies, right? How much are they able to receive? Is there a cap? What is that process like?
Well, we try and serve as many people as possible, and everybody's rent is different depending on the size of your apartment, or a house if you're renting it, etc. We're trying to accommodate people up to $1,000, and in some cases a little bit more, depending on the amount of their rent for their home or for their apartment. Realizing that housing in the Atlanta area can be a bit pricey, so we've got a little bit of wiggle room, and given that we have multiple sources now that are helping us with this special initiative, we have wiggle room in terms of being able to provide rent at a larger scale than we have in the past. Also, what I will advise people listening to do is that though the city of Atlanta and other municipalities have issued a freeze on most evictions and a freeze on most utility shutoffs, those will come due soon. So time is of the essence to reach out to organizations such as Nicholas House and others for financial assistance to avoid that eviction. Because once that eviction has been implemented and is in place, oftentimes it's not weeks, it's sometimes days before that process begins. So that said, please reach out to Nicholas House so that we can assist with the amount of arrears, especially to avoid utility shutoff and to avoid eviction. So we're working with all families of various sizes with different rents, varying from 800 and up. What we would need, of course, is a copy of the lease or whatever agreement that you have with your landlord or mortgage company in the case of home ownership. Also, a copy of the utility bill that's in arrears so that we'll know exactly who to pay and what is due. So make sure that before you're contacting the house that you have all of that information readily available, because you will be asked for that information, and of course proper identification to verify that you are a resident in that particular county.
And you raised a really great point around, the freeze on evictions in Fulton County. Magistrate Court handles those, and that freeze on evictions still exists. And so those cases aren't proceeding forward, but rent continues to become due. Since mid-March, the city of East Point also has not been disconnecting utility services, so that's water and electric. And so, that making sure during this time that people don't have to worry about whether or not the lights will come on or whether they will have water, right? So making sure that we're sending those disconnections. But to your point, at some point, those bills will become due, or they continue to grow, right? So that there are resources and organizations that people can reach out to be able to actually get help with what is due, right? What is in arrears. Going to help them be able to, again, stay housed. I mean, regardless of anything else that happens, we're encouraging people, of course, be smart, meaning following the CDC guidelines, wear a mask whenever you're away from your home, make sure you're washing and sanitizing your hands often, disinfect, all of those best practices from CDC. Be safe and also stay home during this time. But when you're away, and as life continues to happen, there are still responsibilities that we have. So
and Mayor Ingram, I'm sorry. If I could just add one additional point, please. There's a lot of stress associated with this. There's a lot of anxiety. People are worried financially. They're a little antsy, given that there's been a stay-at-home order for a long time, and and the children are home all day. They're being, schooled from home. It's created a lot of mental health challenges for a lot of people, and I want listeners and viewers to also be aware that Nicholas House has partnered with the National Association of Mental Illness, and we are providing access to virtual workshops and opportunities to just talk about those stresses. And they're providing resources and assistance to help families that are being stretched to the limit in terms of circumstances that they may be in. This is new, for all of us. And as we try and reopen, as we try and consider going back to a portion of uh, normalness in this pandemic, we want families to not only be well physically, but mentally. So we also would encourage families to reach out for any assistance needed in terms of mental health resources. I know that this is a touchy subject for many, but it's a valuable need that's available, that's accessible, and we really want families to reach out as necessary. There are alarming rates of families that are really responding negatively to the various stresses that they're faced with. So we want families to know that there are resources available to assist, and this is all done anonymously and very confidentially. So please know that if you're in need of that assistance as well, you can still contact Nicholas House. We'll be happy to connect you to our counselors that we partner with, and also nominees who participate in virtual activities, or just contacting someone by phone and speaking with them about any concerns that you or your family may have. If I can just repeat again that email address, prevention@nicholashouse.org, and that phone number, 404-789-5626.
Well, I think if we think about the basic needs, right, food and shelter, mental health, and also financial assistance, meaning employment, right? So mental health is critically important, and I thank you for bringing that to the forefront and that be a part of this conversation, because we cannot really act as if those aren't real issues, and real challenges that people face when things are okay, right? And as you mentioned, stressors are compounding with all of the things that are happening during this time. So NAMI, the National Association of Mental Illness, as you mentioned, is an amazing organization. Thank you for having those resources on the website. So when I say Nicholas House is a one-stop shop, right? It's a shelter, a place for persons experiencing, family experiencing homeless to be sheltered, but they also have access to financial resources, can point you to mental health resources and all other resources during this time. So again, thank you for lifting that.
Thank you.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so during this time, I think we need to get to a place as a community, country, around being more comfortable having conversations about mental health. You have a problem talking about hypertension, diabetes, right? High and these other illnesses, right? And mental health is, like hypertension, like that is an illness. Mental illness is an illness, and that can be treated, and people can recover and be resilient and go through recovery. Which just like people with hypertension take a pill for hypertension.
Mm-hmm.
If people are experiencing mental illness, right, we have to get to a place where we as a community support and encourage and help and help people go through this in a restorative manner, right, feeling dignified and valued, and really going through this with them and not making judgments and acting as if we're doing things to them. So thank you for lifting that. And so I want to talk about the job support. The unemployment rate is soaring.
Yes.
It is absolutely soaring. And so, the longer we're in this, and I was watching something the other night with my husband, and it was on CNN, and it was a young lady on there who was a infectious disease clinician, and she said it's possibly 36 months, and we heard 24 months or 18. So nobody's saying this is going to be over in June or July, clearly. Um, and the unemployment rate is soaring. So talk about the job skills or job assistance that Nicholas House also can connect people with during this time of year.
Yes, well, I also heard today that Georgia has the highest number of unemployment filings in the country. And our phone rings constantly with not only families that are in need of housing, but they need jobs. Many families have been furloughed, they've jobs, they've had their hours reduced, and we want to be able to. So we actually have a employment navigator that works for Nicholas House. And the role of this employment navigator is to assist individuals in navigating the process of job training as well as job placement. So this gentleman actually works in collaboration with a number of different employers to assess skills and then help individuals to with their placement in various positions based on those skills. He also has expertise in working with artists to serve individuals. And these are individuals that, may be a little shy about, asking for assistance because they may have issues involving prior incarceration or poor credit issues that may impact employment in certain situations. So our employment navigator is very well expertise in managing all types of employment challenges and barriers. So Nicholas House works with families specifically, but if there are individuals that are in need of assistance, we can also provide assistance as it relates to referring job positions based on skill set of individuals, as well as helping with various training components. There's an interest in trade, interest in a particular profession, we can provide resources and information. As I mentioned earlier, our adult education program focus on building skills through resume writing, through interview skills, and a number of other resources that are available not only to individuals that are sheltered, but to the community. So again, if someone would like to reach out to us for assistance in acquiring a job or preparing for the workforce, if they've been out of the workforce a long time, even prior to COVID, and they're just really looking to reintegrate into the workforce when our economy is moving a little bit better, hopefully. But there are a number of organizations or agencies and companies that are hiring. So I would encourage everyone that's listening that's in need of employment to reach out to Nicholas House so that we can connect you to these employers for potential employment. Again, that email address is prevention@nicholashouse.org. With regard to employment, you would just indicate that you're looking for a job. If you would please kindly provide your contact information, the county of residence, as well as the city that you live in, so that we can try and place you with employers in that particular area. Because we, try in many cases, we try and keep you within areas within your neighborhood. And also that phone number again is 404-789-5626.
Yep, and we are definitely sharing that information on the screen. And so I just want to be clear, it's a bit rhetorical, but assistance for jobs and the mental health assistance that you talked about, that is for anyone. It's not just for a person who has a family, but for individuals.
Correct. That is correct.
So, I, again, just am elated to find a one-stop shop. And that partnership with Nicholas House. And, I've been to a number of events and just, really heard the stories of people who were able to go through, who were experiencing homelessness and then share their journey about becoming housed. I remember I was at one event. It was a single male with 5 daughters who lived at Nicholas House, who was able to find shelter and assistance at Nicholas House, and then was able to transition to housing, being employed. And so it's, understanding and trying to identify places where people can go again and get the help that they need. And so I'm going to ask if there are any questions, and I'll check to see if we have any. Is there anything else you'd like to share as I'm checking to see if you have any questions?
Sure. I will just remind everyone that's listening and watching that no one wakes up and says, "Hey, I want to be homeless today." This could happen to anybody at any given time. Most Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and they're one emergency away from being homeless. So there's no shame in asking for help. Embarrassment is not something that we judge. Please know that we are available and accessible to families that are facing crisis right now. The average age of a homeless person is 9 years old. And every single night in Metro Atlanta, over 5,000 families are homeless. In Atlanta alone, that number is over 1,000. So we recently found a mom and a 3-year-old child living under a bridge in Atlanta. And they came to Atlanta with the promise of a job, but COVID-19 preempted that. Mom didn't have any family. She didn't know about the resources that were available. So she took the small bags of belongings they had, and that became some money. We found them. We were able to get them into our shelters. They're safe. They're fed. Upon seeing this family, our heart was broken to see that they were so tired and so hungry and dirty and just in need of help. This happens to families every single day in Atlanta and many metro Atlanta areas. It may not be a family living under a bridge. It could be someone that's sleeping on someone's couch tonight. It could be someone sleeping in their car. These families are in crisis and they need help. And Nicholas House is here to be of assistance, whether it's financial assistance that's needed or whether it's housing. We are here to assist families in achieving self-sufficiency. So if there's anyone who found this opportunity that needs help, that needs assistance, please reach out to us at prevention@nicholashouse.org. Give us a call at 404-789-5626. Let us know what your need is. Let us know how we can be of assistance to you. Give us an opportunity to help you through this crisis. We don't know how long this pandemic will last, but what we do know is that Nicholas House is here to help. Nicholas House is here to help you weather this storm. Nicholas House is here to help families to change and to bounce back from this tragedy. So just wanted to thank you, Mayor Ingram. Other questions now that we have?
I don't see that there are any questions.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you.
Thank you
very much for everything that you do to help persons in need, families in need. It is critically important. A lot of times we expect people who are in need to figure out how to connect the dots for themselves. And we who are part of the systems and the governments and supports that are funded for them haven't figured that out, right? And so, as I'm thinking about how do I, ensure during this time of unprecedented uncertainty that these corners have access to whatever they might need when they need it, know where those resources are, that we're providing what we can provide through our network, our relationship, our influence, and our resources to help meet those fundamental basic needs of food. We have a really robust food support system that we've been operating for a number of weeks now and will continue to operate. There are a lot of resources that are coming to us for that, but also, the financial assistance is critical, and the need has grown and will continue to grow. And so being able to, connect people with the organization that will be responsive, that will help case manage them right, provide case management for them as they're going through this time, and do it in a restorative way with dignity and value, understanding that everyone has value. So I appreciate you for all that you do. I appreciate you for taking time tonight to join us in this community conversation. We look forward to continuing to partner with you and continuing to help meet the needs of our communities and our East Pointers and people within the Metro Atlanta area as well. So just thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And if I may say thank you to you as well, Mayor Ingram, for your support of Nicholas House, for what you're doing for your constituents in East Point. We have a valued friend in the mayor's office, and we are so delighted and honored to be working with you. You're doing amazing things for the city, and we are honored to partner with you in providing assistance to constituents and others in surrounding areas. And for those of you that would like to help this cause and to join Mayor Ingram and I, Nicholas House, help families that are in need, please feel free to reach out to Nicholas House at www.nicholashouse.org to volunteer. If you'd like to drop off food that can get distributed to residents of East Point and other areas. If you'd like to serve or provide food for residents at Nicholas House, we would be honored. If you'd like to make a monetary donation to Nicholas House, we would be honored to receive those gifts as well. Again, all of that can be done by visiting our website at www.nicholashouse.org. Thank you so much, Mayor Ingram, for all that you do to keep the constituents of East Point safe and well and informed, and for the opportunity to partner with you and speak with a number of individuals tonight as part of this special forum.
Well, thank you. And to my beloved East Pointers, just know that we will get through this together. I will be with you and will continue to be with you every step of the way on this journey. We have COVID-19 testing happening in the city. And so we've done 7 days of testing at East Point so far, 4 days last week, 3 days this week. We'll be offering testing again next week on Wednesday for sure, hopefully Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday will be downtown. Our goal is to provide the downtown city annex, downtown commons area as a weekly testing site on Wednesdays from 10 to 2 p.m. And also looking for on Thursdays to go to provide testing in conjunction with our food distribution that's happening at two of the different churches. So alternating between Church of Chapel Hill as well as St. Stephen Missionary Baptist Church. So again, know that we have food available every day of the week in the city of East Point. There is a food support flyer that we update weekly. It's always on our website at www.eastpointcity.org. You can go there, and at the top, if you look at the bottom, it'll tell you the things that are coming up. So a lot of the time, the information is there on the homepage. But if you click on the red section at the top of the page, it says COVID-19, it will take you to the food support flyers, the testing flyers, to let you know where the testing will be in our city during the week. We are here for you. We're here to serve you. It is an honor to serve you. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. And know that my service to you continues during this time and beyond, and we will get through this together. Please also remember that you can contact our office. Our website is eastpointcity.org/mayor, and our phone number is 404-270-7091. So you can call our office if you are in need of resources, or you know of a neighbor that is in need of resources, and leave us your name, your address, your phone number, your email address, as well as the type of resource or support that you need, i.e. food. If you need support with rental or mortgage assistance, if you need lawn service, if you are a business and you need business support. And then there's also a place for you to indicate others, to share with us what your needs are. There's also an online form, so you can either call the office or you can go to the city's website and the COVID page, as I just described how to get there. And at the top of the page, there is a link to the COVID-19 Bridging the Gap resource request form. You can click there and you can actually submit it online. It's a really short form. It gets the information right to us, and I promise you, we will do all that we can to either provide the service you need. So food, we can really help with that, and make sure that you get it. It also asks you to let us know if you need the food delivered, but also connecting you to the other organizations like Nicholas House, and others to be able to meet the other needs that you may have during this time. So we're here for you. I'm honored to serve you. We will get through this together. It is not lost on me that we do have East Corners who either themselves have been, experiencing or contracted the COVID-19 disease. As of May 11th, we were at 106 cases in the city. And that we also have East Corners who have family members that are either here or in other places. We also have staff that have either tested positive or have family members in other states that are going through this. And so, this is a real humanity issue, right? This is about human beings. This is about preserving life. This is about working together and doing all that we can to keep ourselves safe, but also to help others safe by being smart, following the guidelines, being safe, and staying home. The numbers are not indicating that we should be at a fast reopening. I mean, the reality of it is we will have to reopen at some point, and the city manager has recently shared that at our meeting this week, our council work session, last Monday, during our council meeting, the tentative plan right now for reopening, starting June 1st, there'll be right now, City Hall is pretty much empty. People are teleworking, and those essential workers are still providing services: police, fire, public works, Parks and Recreation Center, who's doing an amazing job with the food support that we're providing in the city. But as of June 1st, we'll come and have staggered days with about maybe 50% of the staff in the building, if that. And then starting mid-June, June 15th, the city government business buildings will still remain closed through June 15th. At June 15th, there will be appointments only. So it will be open to the public based on appointments. People who come to the city will have to have on a face mask, and if they don't have one, we will have one at the city for them to be able to use while there. We also are looking to try to get temperature checks to do everything that we can to help ensure the safety of our staff and the safety of our residents as we're interacting during that time. And then around the 1st of July, our customer service right now is just drive-through and Dropbox only, but there'll likely be some increased staffing around that. Our parks and playgrounds are still closed come June 1st. The city manager has shared the consideration of opening up the parks, but keeping the playground equipment as well as basketball courts, tennis courts, those types of amenities, keeping those closed for a little while longer. And again, this is all assuming that, making some assumptions about the science and the data and what medical experts are telling us right now. That seems to be a good plan to phase our reopening, to do our reopening phases. But stay tuned. We will continue to keep you informed. We will continue to make sure that we are prioritizing. Our number one priority is your health, welfare, and safety. And any decisions that are made, even if there are decisions regarding our economy or our business operations, it first starts with public health, welfare, and safety of individuals first. And if we're not thinking through that lens, then I'm not sure what people are doing during this But I can tell you that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. That's what the manager's doing in the city of East Point to make sure that as we continue to move forward, we're doing so in the manner that is safest. And so, again, thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for um, taking time to watch this and become informed. Share this information. I'm really big on educating, empowering, and equipping you with information so that you can make decisions for yourself, but also help others. So if maybe you're not in need of housing or financial support, but you know someone who is, take the information that you've learned tonight or learned through this session this evening with you so that you can share it with someone else because it is really a critical time to be our brothers and sisters keepers and to be a good neighbor and to make sure that we're with social distancing, right? And following the guidelines. But we need to help each other because we will definitely get through this together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Be smart, follow the guidelines, wear a mask when out, wash your hands often, sanitize your hands, use hand sanitizer, disinfectants, all of those CDC best practices that I continue to share out when I send communication out. Be safe, stay home, and stay connected. So during this community conversation, we've shared all of my social media handles, the website for the mayor's office, our phone number. Please stay connected. The email address is mayor, MAYOR, at eastpointcity.org. So feel free to email us. Again, that's mayor, MAYOR, at eastpointcity.org. My social media pages to stay connected and stay informed with what's happening. And also, when you like on Facebook, there's a way for you to select to be notified whenever we go live. I do my pop-up minutes with the mayor when I feel like it's just important for me to connect with you and have a conversation with you and just go out there so you can ask me questions. So during this new time, I mean, this is all we have. I would love to be able to see you and hug you. Everybody knows I'm a hugger. So it's really hard for me right now. I miss you guys. So this is the way that I can connect. And so I enjoy it and I enjoy serving you. So thank you so much. Please be safe, be smart, stay home, and do all that you can to help your fellow man or woman during this time so that we can get through this together. So thank you so much, East Corners, and have a great week. And, continue to do all that it is that you can do to keep your family and your community. Take care.